Boston Bruins are in Ottawa to take on the Senators, and I will be in the building tonight to watch the game. Very excited. We're going to talk also about last week's win over the New Jersey Devils and update the Atlantic Division power rankings on today's episode of Locked On Boston Bruins.
You're Locked On Bruins, your daily podcast on the Boston Bruins. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
What is up, Bruins fans, and welcome back to the Locked On Boston Bruins podcast. I'm your host, Ian McLaren, and this is a daily show where we discuss all things Spoked B. Today is Tuesday, December 27th, and I want to thank you so much for making Locked On Bruins part of your day every day. Free and available on Apple, Spotify, wherever you get your podcasts, including YouTube, where you can get a video version of the show and some breaking bonus news content over there as well. Please do smash that subscribe button if you have not already. If you're on Twitter, Instagram, you can find the podcast at Locked NHL Bruins, and you can find me, my dad jokes, hockey tweets at Ian C. McLaren. As I said off the top, I am in Ottawa, visiting family, celebrating Christmas, which, belated, I hope you all had a great holiday with friends, family, and enjoyed some good food, beverages, snacks, desserts, and that Santa treated you all well because you deserve it, especially you. Now, the Bruins taking on the Ottawa Senators here tonight. We will preview that game later on in the podcast, but first, let's talk about the game last Friday where Patrice Bergeron, Jake DeBrusk scored a goal apiece, and David Pastrnak added twice during a 4-goal second period as the Bruins held on for a 4-3 win over the New Jersey Devils heading into the Christmas break. Linus Ullmark made 37 saves to guide the team to their fourth straight win heading into the Christmas break. It was a back-to-back game, again, right before Christmas. And you could tell the Bruins were a little gassed in the third period as the Devils mounted an attempted comeback. But the Bruins were able to shut the door and get the win, improving to 27-4-2. Unbelievable. It's not even a start to the season anymore. This is just who the Bruins are. They're a fantastic squad who can win on any given night against any given team. David Pastrnak scored a pair, as I mentioned, leads the Bruins with 24 goals, 23 assists, and is now tied with Bobby Orr for 10th on the club's all-time career goals list with 264. He also extended his point streak to 11 games, and he's displaying more of a willingness to shoot the puck this season than we saw early on last year. Last year, there was a lot of cutesy play by the Bruins, a lot of overpassing. This season, David Pastrnak specifically taking it upon himself to fire the puck at will, and it's obviously working and helping his overall confidence. He said, a big thing is the whole team is doing well. That helps with confidence. Krejci, he's never going to shoot, so somebody has to do it. Kind of in a joking way there. Jake DeBrusk also scored. It was his 13th goal of the season. He also has 13 assists as well, 26 points. He's on track for the best season of his career, and kind of silencing, well, maybe not silencing. There's still a lot of people who are suggesting that the Bruins should go after a guy like Patrick Kane to put on the right side there. But pretty much by all metrics, Jake DeBrusk is outproducing any star player that you might want to put on, realistically anyways, on the right side there. Really happy for Jake to get this successful season going for the Boston Bruins. Finally, in net, Linus Ullmark stopped 37 shots, improved to 19-1-1. Really taking a step forward this year, really bringing it when the Bruins are needing it, DeBrusk said. Prime example, made some huge saves, especially with his glove on the goal line. It just seems to be there at the right times. 19-1-1. We'll see if the Bruins continue this back and forth with the goalies, if Swayman gets the call tonight and Ullmark goes again against the Devils tomorrow night, or if they mix things up, put Ullmark in tonight and give Swayman the start tomorrow night in New Jersey. So that was the quick and dirty story of the game the other night against the New Jersey Devils. A big win for the Bruins, of course. The Devils had that extended winning streak early in the season and have cooled off a bit, and the Bruins helped with that cool off by beating them, and they'll play them again tomorrow night on home ice. Sorry, in New Jersey, on New Jersey's home ice anyways. As far as a big bear of the night goes, it's hard to ignore our boy Pastrnak, who had the 2 goals and just an exceptional night overall. Linus Ullmark, of course, always a candidate for the Big Bear of the Night award. But I think I'm going to have to give it to Pastrnak. The 2 goals, firing at will. My big thing was just everybody staying healthy because, again, I'm going to the game tonight. There was a brief instance where Patrice Bergeron left the bench, but of course he was able to come back and finish the game. Pastrnak, 2 goals on 6 shots, and just a fantastic performance. The Bruins were outshot 40-23, a rare imbalance in the goals. In the shots, but Ullmark standing tall with the .925 save percentage for the win. Coming up after the break, we're going to quickly update the Atlantic Division power rankings. But first, a quick word about today's sponsor, BetOnline. BetOnline is the fastest and easiest way to get in all your sports betting info, stats, news, and analysis. Get the latest odds and trends for every pro and amateur league out there, from pro football to college bowl season, NHL, basketball. They've got it all at betonline.net. They're the fastest and easiest way to get your betting info. Head to the website today. Use your mobile device. Learn more at BetOnline, where the game starts. So tonight, Bruins in Ottawa, a battle of 2 Atlantic Division teams. And it just so happens that today we're updating the Atlantic Division power rankings. There's 3 teams under 500 in terms of point percentage in the Atlantic. Team at the bottom, tonight's opponent, the Ottawa Senators. I'm going to put them in 7th, though, this week. The Montreal Canadiens have a .485 point percentage, a record of 15, 16, and 3. They're 2 points ahead of Ottawa, but they do have 1 more game played, and they have far and away the worst goal differential in the Atlantic at -23. So they're going in the wrong direction as well in terms of The Senators, on the other hand, have beaten the Bruins already this season. That 7-5 game back in October. And they're 5-3-2 over their last 10. A pretty respectable -6 goal differential. And they're only 3 points back of the 6th place team with 2 games in hand. The Florida Panthers surprisingly remain in 6th place, a .486 point percentage, a -6 goal differential, 3-7 over their last 10, and they have lost 3 games in a row. They are possibly facing the prospect of going even further down the standings. They are only .001 ahead of Montreal when it comes to point percentage. In 5th place this week, I'm putting the Detroit Red Wings. They are 1 point ahead of the Buffalo Sabres. Both teams have the same amount of games played, but they are one of 4 teams with a minus goal differential on the season. They've also gone 3-5-2 over their last 10 games. They're at a -7 goal differential. I'm putting the Buffalo Sabres in the 4th spot this week. 16-4-2, a .531 point percentage, and they have a +18 goal differential, which is pretty impressive for a team that is outside of the playoff picture at the moment. In 3rd, no change in the top 3 this week. The Tampa Bay Lightning, they're 20-11-1, .641 point percentage, and a +18 goal differential. They've lost 2 in a row, but they're 7-3 over their last 10 overall. In 2nd place, the Toronto Maple Leafs, 21-7-6 record. They're 8 points back of our 1st place Boston Bruins. They've played 1 more game, and while they are 7-2-1 over their last 10, they've won 2 in a row. They still can't catch our Boston Bruins, who are 7-1-2 over their last 10. They've won 4 in a row. 18-0-2 at home, a +56 goal differential, .848 point percentage, all of which puts them at the top of the NHL standings. When it comes to Atlantic Division teams currently in the playoff picture, we all know that you have to also contend with Metropolitan Division teams in order to secure a wildcard spot. Right now, obviously, Boston, Toronto, Tampa Bay locked into playoff spots, but could be 2 Metro teams in the wildcard, with the New York Rangers and the Washington Capitals currently holding those down, and Detroit 7 points back of Washington for the 2nd wildcard spot, but they have 4 games in hand. Buffalo 8 points back, but they also have 4 games in hand. So could be a bit interesting at some point once those games are made up. So that's a really quick look at the Atlantic Division power rankings this week. Boston in 1. Tonight's opponent, the Ottawa Senators, in 7th. And we're going to preview tonight's game against Ottawa here in a moment. But first, I want to thank you so much again for making Locked On Boston Bruins part of your day every single day. Podcast is free and available on your favorite podcast app. So whether you use Apple, Spotify, I use Pocket Casts for mine. Please do smash that subscribe button so that you never miss a thing. Please do also subscribe to the YouTube channel. And once we reach 1,000 points, I'm going to hold a draw for, 1,000 subscribers. The Bruins have been good this season, but they probably won't reach 1,000 points. Once we reach 1,000 subscribers, then I will be holding a draw for a Bruins related gift. All right, let's preview tonight's game against the Ottawa Senators. The Senators, of course, came into the season amid a lot of fanfare after adding some pretty big names to the mix, including Alex DeBrincat from the Chicago Blackhawks, Claude Giroux via the Florida Panthers. He, of course, was the longtime captain of the Philadelphia Flyers. They also traded for Cam Talbot from the Minnesota Wild. As we saw in the power rankings, hasn't quite panned out just yet for the Senators, but they're still a very talented team. And as we saw with our Bruins last year, it takes a while to incorporate all these new faces into the lineup. They're led up top by Captain Brady Tkachuk. He's got 37 points through 33 games, 13 goals, 24 assists. His 13 goals are second on the team behind Giroux, who's got 14. Alex DeBrincat, he's coming around. He's got 32 points in 33 games. Drake Batherson, 31 points in 33 games. Tim Stoitzel, 29 games played, 28 points. So you have 5 guys who are close to point per game averages. On the back end, Thomas Chabot, who we all hear about with respect to the 2015 draft, 7 goals, 11 assists for 18 points through 28 games. Then they have a bunch of other guys you need to keep an eye on. Shane Pinto, Jake Sanderson on the back end. Pretty talented team. They're getting production from their high-end guys. Not quite putting it all together yet, but as we saw earlier in their season, they're capable of scoring in bunches with that 7-5 win. And the goaltending's coming around as well. Cam Talbot, an 8-8 record. 8-8-1, I should say, with a 911 save percentage. Anton Forsberg at 5-8-2 with a 906 point percentage. So this is a team that can score. It's also a team that can be scored on. And I am hoping and expecting a pretty entertaining game tonight. As I said, I will be in the building, taking the family, all the boys, as well as my parents, who will be joining us. Very excited to wear my old school Bruins jersey and my Winter Classic toque and to cheer on the Bruins. There will be, I expect, quite a few Bruins fans in the building. There always seems to be when we come to Ottawa and they take on the Bruins. So that's going to be very fun. I'll try to post a video from the rink after the game, my post-game check-in, and be posting some photos as well on the Locked On Bruins Instagram account, Locked NHL Bruins, as well as my personal Twitter at Ian McLaren. So a quick update for you on all things spoke to be. We'll see if Craig Smith is recalled for this one. I know he was papered to the Providence Bruins before the Christmas break to save some cap space over the holidays. Again, I was praying that there would be no injuries in the game against the Devils on Friday so that it was a full optimized lineup that I get to see in person tonight. And very thankful that that seems to be the case. So yeah, excited about tonight's game. I hope you are all doing well, taking care of yourselves, taking care of each other, had a great holiday break, and we'll talk to you tonight from the rink. This is Ian McLaren. This is Locked On Boston Bruins, and we are part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your favorite team every single day. Take care, friends.